You are, as I mentioned, head of the NRSC. You're in charge of getting Republicans elected to the Senate. I want to ask you about Sean Parnell, who is your candidate in Pennsylvania and is now facing allegations from his wife that he strangled her and abused one of their small children. Is he still the right candidate?
Well, we have, as you know, we both have Republican and Democrat primaries across the country. And in Pennsylvania, we have both the Republicans and Democrats have primaries. And so we'll see who comes out of the primary. Facts will come out. We'll find out exactly what people think. I think what ultimately happens is people are going to look at somebody's background and say, is that the type of person they want? And also, are they talking about the issues that I care about?
But
I think the issues that are going to be important in 22 are good for...
I mean, that's pretty extraordinary, right? You have someone whose wife is saying that you have someone whose wife is saying that he strangled them and that he left welts on their child. I mean, I think that's a fair question to ask you if this is the right guy for this job.
Brianna, I'm not supporting or opposing people in primaries. I'm the chair of the National Republican Senatorial Committee. I'm going to help Republicans will help our incumbents, but help our Republicans to get through the primary. That's what my focus is. The voters of each of the states will decide who the right candidate on the Republican and Democrat side are, and then I'm sure the Democrat Senate Committee will be doing the exact same thing. They'll support their candidates as they get through the primaries.
The Virginia governor's race, is that the GOP playbook for the midterms, basically ignore Donald Trump?
Well, I hope the Democrats continue to do what Terry McAuliffe did. Terry McAuliffe ran his campaign. He did two things.
But you don't have control over that. You only have control over, say, the Glenn Youngkin in this case. So I'm asking you as someone from the Republican perspective, because I'm pretty sure you're not advising Democratic candidates, is this the playbook for Republicans?
I think what Democrats are going to continue to do is talk about Donald Trump. I think Republicans are going to continue to talk about issues. Glenn Youngkin won his race because he talked about issues. And I think that's what's going to happen. What we're going to see is, just like in Virginia, Terry McAuliffe wanted to say, oh, there was nothing about critical race theory. We know it's true. Parents know their kids are being indoctrinated with critical race theory in Virginia, and the Democrats wanted to deny it.
And so it's not in the curriculum.
Showed up because they don't like being lied to.
Just to be clear, it's not in the curriculum in Virginia.
Brianna, would you like me to here? Let me just read you a few things. In 2015, while Terry McAuliffe was governor, the Virginia Department of Education promoted incorporating a critical race theory lens in education. You can still find it on the Department of Education's website, still there. In February 2019, a superintendent memo for the Virginia Department of Education promoted critical race theory and the idea of white fragility.
It's not
I
part of
looked
the
at it
curriculum.
yesterday. It's still there,
I do
Brianna.
want to ask you, just to be clear about
Brianna,
where you are.
Let's all agree. They were trying to indoctrinate kids. Terry McAuliffe denied it. It's still on the website. This is happening. And I hope Democrats continue to say it's not happening because parents are dumb. They can see it.
You're saying parents are dumb, you said? Aren't dumb?
No, they're not. I think parents are smart. My parents didn't have much of a formal education, but they cared about what I learned. Parents are smart.
I just want to be clear. Okay,
that
Senator, I just have to be clear.
Department of Education promoted critical race theory, and Terry McAuliffe said they didn't. I hope Democrats keep doing that all across the country.
Fine. It's not part of the curriculum. I would like to move on with you. I want to talk specifically, and I just want to be clear about something just about where you personally are on the big lie. We have you on today because you are in charge of Senate Republicans and trying to get them elected. But you personally voted to overturn election results right after the Capitol riot on January 6th. Later, you did say that Biden won fair and square. Are you comfortable with Republican candidates embracing someone, Donald Trump, who continues to lie about the election?
Well, first off, let me be clear. Joe Biden is the president of the United States. We went through the constitutional process, and Joe Biden is the president of the United States. Now, there are a lot of people that wish Joe Biden wasn't president, like probably a big majority of Americans right now. But Joe Biden is the president, and we're going to go on. What's going to happen in 22? People are going to say, who do I want to be my senator and to be my congressman? Democrats are going to talk about Donald Trump, and Republicans are going to win elections.
But Republicans may also be talking about Donald Trump. Are you comfortable with candidates embracing someone who is lying about not just the 2020 election, because you say you don't want to talk about past elections, but is lying about future elections, ginning up unwarranted concern about future elections?
Brianna, if you're a Republican, you should go after Donald Trump's endorsement. If you're a Democrat, you probably should go after Hillary's and Obama's endorsement. But if you want to win your election, you should talk about the border being secure. You should talk about jobs. You could talk about education, public safety. Those are things that you're going to win an election on. Now, if you want to talk about people that want to talk about prior elections, you can go back and look at Stacey Abrams. She's still talking about a prior election, and Terry McAuliffe had her up and campaigned with him.
I'm talking about future elections. Donald Trump is ginning up concern about future elections. He says the elections are totally corrupt in our country. He said that just this last month. And he said if we don't solve the presidential election fraud of 2022, Republicans will not be voting in 22 and 24.
And Chuck Schumer goes to the floor of the Senate and keeps saying that the election laws in this country are unfair. All right? So Chuck Schumer keeps saying that all the time. Why don't you call Chuck Schumer and ask him why he keeps saying that? With all due
respect, I'm talking about your Republican candidates, which is your purview. Right? This is about what you are saying to your Republican candidates. Well, you need to have a plan too. I'm sure you have a plan for your candidates. You know, this isn't just about what Democrats are doing. Obviously, this is about what Republicans are doing. That's what you have control over. Are you okay with them embracing a candidate who is ginning up concern about future elections?
I think Republicans would be foolish not to want Donald Trump's endorsement, and Democrats would probably be in the same position with Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton.
Well,
but I don't believe that wins your elections.
Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton are not ginning up concern about future elections and saying that if something isn't solved about a past election, that people are not going to vote. They're not telling people not to vote.
Let's look. Democrats are saying that the election laws in this country are unfair. How is that different? They're saying that, what Florida and Texas and Georgia are doing are unfair. If you look at what Republicans are doing, the goal is 100% participation and 0% fraud. But that's not what Chuck Schumer is saying about it on the floor. I watch it. I have to vote on the stuff he proposes. That basically is a federal takeover of our election laws. Get rid of ID. Get rid of allow ballot harvesting. Allow same-day registration. Which all that's going to do is create fraud in the next election. That's what the Democrats are doing. They do it on the Senate floor all the time. That's a different thing,
Senator. That's different. They are questioning laws that will restrict the access to vote for many people. They are not questioning the integrity of elections. They are questioning vote access. Donald Trump is saying that elections are totally corrupt in our country.
They're talking about the right process. You should have your show ID. You should not be your signature has to match if you do mail-in ballots. You shouldn't have same-day registration. There shouldn't be ballot harvesting. That's not talking about the security of elections, integrity of elections. There's no difference.
Well, Donald Trump, as you know what he is saying, and this is an endorsement that many of your candidates have sought and will continue to seek, is raising concerns about current and future elections, right? This isn't an issue of the past. And he's saying that Republicans won't vote in 2022 or 2024 if basically there isn't this thing about 2020 kind of going his way. So he's making the past about the future.
You know what I like about what you're doing? Keep talking about Donald Trump. If you look at, if that's what everybody, if the Democrats keep doing that, we're going to have a heck of a year next year. We got 1 year out. We're way up in a generic ballot.
But I'm asking you about Republicans.
Completely rejected the Biden agenda.
I'm asking you about how Republicans are approaching
this. But what I want, here's what I want. I want election security. So does every other Republican that I know. That's not what the Democrats keep proposing on the Senate floor.
Look, sir, I'm asking you what, you invented an award to give to Donald Trump. You gave him the first Champion of Freedom Award or whatever from the NRSC. You